Welcome to the deep dive. If you've heard whispers of the Doomsday Couple Case, well, you know it's a story that almost defies belief.
It really does.
Today, we're not just going over the headlines. We want to peel back the layers, try to understand how seemingly ordinary beliefs could spiral into such an unimaginable tragedy. It really shook the U.S.
It's a stark example, isn't it? How deeply held convictions, even ones that might seem harmless at first, can take such a chillingly dark turn when acted upon in extreme ways.
Yeah, warped ways.
Exactly. And the consequences, just devastating when those beliefs override basic human empathy.
So our mission today is to unpack the complex psychological shifts and also the specific investigative steps that uncovered the horrific truth. We've drawn from various sources to bring you the full story as best we understand it.
And try to make sense of why it happened.
Right. Let's start our story really back in 2006. We meet Lori Vallow, originally from Idaho. She marries Charles Vallow, a successful investment consultant. Okay. And together they built what, really appeared to be a happy family life. First Arizona, then they moved to Hawaii for a bit.
Looked like the quintessential American family from the outside.
Totally. They adopted JJ, that was Charles's nephew, a young boy with autism who needed special care. And Lori, by all accounts back then, was seen as this beloved, attentive mother, approachable, positive energy.
Yeah, neighbors said that.
And there was also Lori's teenage daughter, Tylee Ryan. Very vibrant girl, seemed inseparable from JJ, helped Lori care for him. They even had a family dog, Bailey, apparently helped JJ sleep. It just paints this picture, almost too perfect,
That initial picture is so jarring, knowing what happened later. It makes you wonder, does this kind of drastic shift usually start with something external, or is it more often an internal vulnerability that kind of kicks off the unraveling?
That's a really good question, because in Lori's case, a change definitely started around 2017. This was after the family moved back to Arizona. Friends, family, her close friend April specifically, noticed a big change in Lori's behavior. Her focus as a mother just waned significantly.
How so?
Well, April later said Lori's transformation really began when she got completely engrossed in this novel series, written by an author named Chad Daybell.
Chad Daybell. That name becomes central, obviously.
Exactly. And these weren't just like regular novels. They focused heavily on doomsday prophecies, preparing for the end of days, that sort of thing. Lori's reading turned into a full-blown obsession, to the point where she started neglecting her family responsibilities.
The psychological pull of that kind of intense fixation, it's profound. When someone gets so deep into a belief system, especially something extreme like apocalyptic prophecies, it can really warp their perception of reality. You see them start reordering their whole life, their duties, everything around these new ideas. It makes you wonder how fast someone can get lost in that kind of narrative.
Well, fast forward to 2019, and Lori's beliefs had escalated dramatically. She actually vanished for 2 months. No explanation.
It's gone.
It's gone. When she came back, her behavior was even more erratic. She started speaking in strange languages, apparently, to Charles and the kids. Unidentifiable languages.
Wow.
And she confided in her friend, April, that she was the chosen one, selected by God for a divine mission, save humanity from an apocalypse she believed was coming July 22, 2020.
So she set a date.
She did. She even claimed she'd been reincarnated many times. This was her final life, and she was destined to lead 144,000 good people to salvation.
That leap from just reading the books to believing she is the chosen one with the divine mission, that's a huge jump. Psychologically, how often do people take something they're consuming, like this doomsday stuff, and then literally write themselves into the story, becoming the main character in their own apocalypse drama?
Exactly. Her personal story didn't just line up with the prophecies, it became the prophecy, with her right at the center. And that personal interpretation, it had tragic consequences for her own family.
How so?
She extended these beliefs to them, told April that Charles, her husband, wasn't really Charles anymore.
What does she mean?
She claimed his body was possessed by a demon or a spirit, that he'd shed his true soul. And even more chillingly, she started believing her own children, Tylee and JJ, had become zombies, infected by evil spirits.
This concept of shedding souls or people becoming zombies, it's terrifying. It's like a mechanism within these extreme ideologies to dehumanize people, even your own children.
Yeah.
It lets followers justify unthinkable acts because the victim is no longer truly human in their eyes. It's that progression from belief to a perceived justification for violence. That's such a critical point here.
And the tension at home just boiled over. January 31st, 2019. Charles and Lori had this massive argument. Charles was deeply disturbed by her beliefs, sure, but also, crucially, by her threats. She apparently threatened to kill him if he didn't comply with her demands.
He felt genuinely threatened.
Yes, so much so that he reported her to the police. There's actually body cam footage recording his fears and showing Lori's unsettling behavior. Shortly after that, Charles filed for divorce.
Okay, so things were clearly breaking down.
And then, this escalating tension It culminated on July 11, 2019. Charles went to Lori's home in Arizona that morning. He was there to pick up JJ for school. Moments later, Charles Vallow was dead.
Just like that.
Lori's brother, Alex Cox, who was also living there, shot Charles twice in the chest. Alex claimed self-defense.
Self-defense? What was the story?
Alex told police Charles had attacked Lori. He said Tylee tried to intervene with a baseball bat, but Charles then turned the bat on Alex, so Alex shot him. Lori and Tylee both backed up Alex's story.
But the scene itself and Lori's reaction, it raised immediate red flags for the investigators, right? I remember hearing about the body cam footage.
Yeah, reports say it captured Lori showing this stark lack of emotion, no distress, right after her husband's death. Almost indifferent.
That's chilling.
And telling, too, was her failure to even tell close friends, like April. April found out about Charles's death online.
Wow. That profound disconnect from, normal grief responses. That's a huge detail, especially for police looking for genuine reactions versus something performed.
Absolutely. So, soon after Charles's death, Lori packs up Tylee and JJ, and they move to Rexburg, Idaho.
And Rexburg isn't just some random town.
Not at all. It's where Chad Daybell lived, the Doomsday author whose books Lori was obsessed with. And Alex Cox, her brother, he moved there with them too.
So the key players are converging in one place.
Right. Chad Daybell, he ran a publishing company for his own Doomsday books, claimed he had personal experience with prophecies, said he was the sole guide to surviving the apocalypse.
And Lori's beliefs lined up perfectly with his.
Perfectly. In fact, Lori even tried to recruit April into her Doomsday group. She demanded April abandon her own family as a kind of test of faith.
Seriously, abandon her family?
Yeah, April politely refused, obviously. But she said it showed her just how serious Lori's beliefs had become.
So connecting this to the bigger picture, it sounds like Lori wasn't just passively soaking this stuff up. She was actively trying to build a community around these radical beliefs, pulling others into her world.
Definitely seeking reinforcement.
Yeah, it speaks to the power of those echo chambers, where individual delusions can feed off each other, creating this shared reality that becomes terrifyingly absolute.
And this is where the story takes an even darker, more chilling turn. September 8, 2019, Alex Cox takes Tylee and JJ to Yellowstone National Park.
Okay, a family trip.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But after this trip, Tylee Ryan effectively vanished. No one could contact her. She was never seen alive in public again.
Just gone after Yellowstone.
Gone. Then, just a couple of weeks later, September 23, 2019, JJ is last seen attending his school in Rexburg. The very next day, Lori calls the school, says JJ won't be coming back, he'll be homeschooled.
And that was it.
That was the last time JJ was seen in public. Both children. Gone.
Unbelievable. What did Lori tell people? Like JJ's grandparents?
Well, JJ's paternal grandparents, Kay and Larry Woodcock, they were obviously concerned. They contacted Lori, desperate for answers. But Lori gave these evasive replies. First claiming JJ was fine, later saying she left JJ with her friend Melanie Gibb.
Melanie Gibb, another name that comes up a lot. Did she have JJ?
No. Melanie vehemently denied ever having JJ stay with her. She said the kids had visited before, but never stayed over. And amidst all these mounting questions about where the kids were, a truly bizarre thing happens.
Yeah.
November 5, 2019, Lori Vallow marries Chad Daybell.
Just like that. While her kids are missing.
Yes, and what's absolutely crucial here is the timing regarding Chad's previous wife, Tammy Daybell. Tammy had died suddenly in her sleep, just weeks before Lori and Chad got married, October 19, 2019.
And her death was initially ruled.
Natural causes.
Wow. That timing raises huge questions for investigators, surely. A mother whose kids are missing suddenly marries this guy whose wife just died unexpectedly.
Exactly. Why flee? Why refuse to cooperate if the children were safe? And the marriage, so soon after Tammy's death, it added this deep layer of suspicion.
Makes you wonder how much the extreme beliefs were maybe a convenient cover for more, well, mundane motives, like a new relationship, maybe money.
It's a question that hangs over the whole case. So, the disappearances of Tylee and JJ, they quickly become a national headline. Police in Idaho go to investigate Lori. She and Chad flee to Hawaii. They're seemingly enjoying a honeymoon while everyone's looking for the kids.
Just enjoying Hawaii while the kids are missing?
Apparently. On January 25, 2020, Idaho authorities formally ordered Lori produce the children within 5 days or face charges.
And did she?
No. She defiantly refused to cooperate, didn't provide any information. So police tracked her down, arrested her in Kauai, Hawaii on February 20, 2020. For abandoning and neglecting her children, she was then extradited back to Idaho.
Okay, so the net is closing in.
Yes. And as the investigation widened, police started digging into the suspicious circumstances around not just Charles Vallow's death, but also Tammy Daybell's and even Alex Cox's own death.
Alex died too.
Yes, he died on December 12, 2019. Also initially ruled natural causes.
So many natural causes deaths surrounding them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And key details started emerging. Police found Lori stopped picking up JJ's autism medication on September 24th, 2019, the day after he was last seen at school.
The day she supposedly started homeschooling him.
Right. She also moved the children's belongings into a storage unit in Hawaii, as if they wouldn't need them anymore.
Yeah, Lynn.
And, most chillingly, Melanie Gibb told police that Lori believed her children had become zombies and that she might have, quote, disposed of them. April, Lori's other friend, backed this up. She also heard Lori call her kids zombies.
That word again, the repetition of the zombie belief by multiple people, it's incredibly significant. It suggests this consistent narrative she was using, maybe to justify her actions, creating this twisted reality where harming her own children was somehow acceptable or even necessary.
A way to bypass normal protective instincts?
Exactly. A mechanism to bypass love, protection, basic humanity.
Then came the turning point. GPS data from Alex Cox's phone. Precision data.
What did it show?
It showed Alex visited Chad Daybell's property on September 8th, 2019, the day Tylee disappeared. He was there for 2 hours.
Okay.
And crucially, minutes after Alex left Chad's property, Chad texted his wife, Tammy, saying he'd shot a large raccoon and buried it in the backyard.
A raccoon? Right after Alex was there on the day Tylee vanished? That doesn't sound good.
Not at all. And Alex's GPS also showed him back at Chad's property on September 23, 2019, the day JJ vanished. This time, just for 17 minutes.
So visits on both days the children disappear.
Yes. This information, especially combined with that strange text about the raccoon, led police straight to Chad Daybell's backyard to search.
That GPS data plus the text, it's such precise evidence. It must have completely changed the investigation's direction.
Oh, absolutely.
From a missing persons case where you still hope maybe they're alive somewhere to a full-blown homicide investigation. It's rare to get such a clear digital breadcrumb trail pointing right to a potential crime scene.
And tragically, in June 2020, police found them. 2 sets of human remains, buried in Chad Daybell's backyard about 50 yards apart.
Oh, God.
They were positively identified as Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow. The discovery, combined with everything else, the doomsday beliefs, the deaths of Charles, Tammy, Alex Luff, it painted this horrifying picture, a premeditated plan.
Just devastating confirmation.
It also came out that Lori and Chad had known each other since 2018, and investigators found proof. 17 days before Tammy Daybell died, Lori had already ordered a wedding dress and bought wedding rings.
17 days before Tammy died. That strongly suggests they planned to eliminate Tammy so they could get married.
It certainly points that way.
It also raises that question again about Alex Cox. Was he also a victim? Given his history of extreme loyalty to Lori, like threatening a previous ex-husband with a gun back in 2007 just because he argued with Lori.
Right. He seemed very protective or controlled.
Yeah. So there's a lot of speculation. Did Lori and Chad silence him too? To stop him from becoming a witness. Of course, his death was officially ruled natural causes, we have to note that, but it really highlights those manipulative dynamics you see in these insular groups. It gets murky who was influencing whom.
Definitely. So in May 2021, the charges came down. Both Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow were charged with first-degree murder for JJ and Tylee.
And Chad faced more.
Yes, Chad was also charged with Tammy Daybell's murder. That suggests new evidence came out after they exhumed her body, showing it wasn't natural causes after all.
Okay.
Lori was also charged as a co-conspirator in Charles Vallow's murder back in Arizona. Police clearly believed it was planned, not self-defense by Alex.
So multiple murder charges for both.
Yes. Lori's trial got delayed for a bit due to mental health evaluations. And it was interesting. Lori's family mostly believed Chad manipulated her. They said Lori loved her kids, wouldn't hurt them. Chad's family, they believed he was manipulated by Lori and Alex.
Finger pointing all around.
Pretty much. But in April 2022, Lori's trial finally resumed. And on May 12th, 2023, the Idaho jury delivered its verdict.
Guilty.
Guilty on all counts. Murders of Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow, and conspiracy to murder Tammy Daybell. She also got convicted on grand theft charges for collecting the kids' Social Security benefits after they were gone.
What was the sentence?
Life in prison without parole. Chad Daybell's trial is actually still pending.
Right, still waiting on that one.
So this deep dive into the Doomsday Couple Case, it just reveals such a chilling narrative. How extreme beliefs shifted from just personal ideas into tragic, violent action.
It's a truly stark reminder of the dark paths delusion can pave.
Yeah.
And this case really forces us to think about those boundaries, between personal faith, however unusual, and actions that cause horrific harm to others. It just underscores how vital critical thinking is, questioning assumptions, especially when you're faced with information that maybe preys on vulnerability or offers these really simplistic answers to complex fears.
That's a really important point. Ultimately, this whole case leaves us with a pretty provocative thought, doesn't it? How do we as a society draw the line? How do we distinguish between sincerely held, even strange beliefs, and those beliefs that become a justification for just unimaginable acts, especially when they're wrapped up in claims of a divine mission or, the end of the world being nigh?
It's a difficult question with no easy answers.
It really is. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into what is, frankly, a profoundly disturbing but important story. We hope exploring it gave you some insights, perhaps, into the complexities of the human mind and the tragic outcomes when delusion goes unchecked.